All right, we're about to piece together a message that's been hiding in plain sight for thousands of years. We're talking about a deep dive into over 190 ancient texts from literally every corner of the globe. Let's get into it. So here's the question that started this whole thing. What if? What if every single ancient culture, separated by huge oceans and thousands of years, with no way to talk to each other, what if they were all describing the exact same fundamental reality? And this is where it gets wild. The pattern that emerged wasn't just kind of similar, it was identical. I mean, you look at Hinduism and Buddhism, early Gnostic Christianity, the Mayans, the ancient Sumerians, you name it, the same five core truths show up again and again and again. This isn't just a coincidence. It's like a message woven in to the very fabric of human history. You know, when you first start seeing this pattern, it feels less like you're doing research and more like you're finding pieces of a map that humanity itself buried for a future generation, maybe for us, to find and piece back together.
And that's the whole key right there. We get so wrapped up in arguing about which book is right, which tradition got it perfect, that we completely miss the point. We miss what all of them were trying to say together. The secret wasn't hidden from us, it was scattered right among us, waiting for us to zoom out.
Okay, so before we get to that unified message, we have to understand why it was so hard to spot in the first place. And it wasn't some grand conspiracy to hide it. The problem was, well, it was something much more basic. It all comes down to language. The core problem was language itself. Think about it. These ancient writers, they weren't trying to be cryptic. They were trying to do something impossible, describe the infinite, the indescribable, using a tool, our words, that was designed to talk about, farming and trading. And the incredible thing is, they knew it. This wasn't a surprise to them. Lao Tzu kicks off the entire Tao Te Ching by basically saying, hey, just so you know, the second I try to put the real truth into words, it's not the real truth anymore. Language is a box, and the truth is just too big to fit inside. So what do? You speak in stories, in metaphors, in myths. They weren't trying to hide anything. They were just using the only tools they had to point at something that was too huge to be held by words. But when you step back and look at all those different metaphors together, they stop fighting each other, and they start finishing each other's sentences. And once you see how those stories connect, wow, an incredibly clear picture starts to form. So let's break down the 5 universal truths that pop up everywhere. Let's start with the first one. This is the big one, the foundation for everything else. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. And seriously, everyone was saying this in their own way. The Hindu Upanishads famously say, Tat Tvam Asi, which means you are that. You are the universe. Then, halfway across the world, a Gnostic text says, recognize what is in your sight, and what is hidden will be revealed. They all got it. You aren't just some tiny piece in the universe. You are the universe, having a temporary experience from your point of view.
All right, so if that's true, if we're all connected, then the second truth just clicks right into place.
Think about this. The most repeated phrase in the entire Bible is, fear not. The Buddha taught that hate never beats hate, only love can do that. See, the ancients saw love not as some mushy, romantic thing, but as the recognition of our oneness. It's our natural state. Fear, on the other hand, is the lie. It's the illusion that we're separate, and that illusion is the source of all our pain. Okay, so if fear is just an illusion, where the heck does it come from? And that leads us straight to the third truth, which really explains how we see the world. We tend to think our mind is like a camera, right? Just passively recording what's out there. But that's not it at all. Your mind is a projector. It's actively creating the reality you experience. Both the ancient texts and, weirdly enough, modern quantum physics point to this. Your beliefs, your past, your fears, they're all filters that literally build the world you see. You're not just reacting to life, you are generating it. So let's recap. You're not separate, fear is a lie, and your mind is projecting your reality. So, what's the problem? What's getting in the way? This brings us to truth number 4. The ego, it's not the real you. It's the story you tell yourself to feel safe from your fears. It's that little voice in your head that thrives on being separate, on conflict, on being smarter or better or more right than someone else. Every single spiritual tradition warned us that this small, scared voice we call I is the only real enemy we will ever have to face.
And once that ego gets quiet, even for a moment, the final truth, the one that ties this whole thing together, just slams into place.
You hear it everywhere, right? The Hermetic idea of as above, so below. The Buddhist concept of interbeing. It all points to the same thing. Nothing, and I mean nothing, exists by itself. Every single thought, every action, every intention sends ripples through one single giant interconnected system. You're not just a lonely node on a network. You're a neuron in a cosmic brain.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? But it begs a huge question. If this stuff was so universally understood by our ancestors, how on earth did we get so lost? How did we forget all of this? Well, it didn't happen overnight. It was a slow drift, really, in 3 stages. First, fear became a useful tool, right? It helped us survive, build walls, protect our tribe. Then, over thousands of years, that tool became a habit. It just became our default setting. And finally, that habit became our culture. It's now baked into our economies, our politics, our whole identity. It's a global operating system built on us versus them. And then we came along. Our modern world didn't just forget. We basically built a giant global machine to make us forget. We engineered apps to hijack our attention, 24/7 news cycles that run on stress, and algorithms that feed our outrage. We didn't just stumble away from these truths. We built a world designed to actively suffocate them. But it's not all doom and gloom, not at all. Because here's the best part. The ancients didn't just tell us what was wrong, they left us a very detailed, very clear map for how to remember who we really are. And this roadmap, it's not about learning new beliefs. It's actually about unlearning all the noise. It starts with truth, using it to dissolve all the illusions. It demands presence because you can only wake up right here, right now. From that connection, compassion just flows naturally. Then you use stillness to turn down the volume of the world so you can finally hear what's real. And ultimately, you find wisdom by learning how to use your own suffering as the fuel for your growth. And when you put it all together, you realize this profound, incredible truth. Waking up isn't about becoming something new or better. It's about remembering what you've always been, before the world taught you who you should be. It's really just coming home. So here's the thing. The map is there. It's always been there, scattered across our shared human story, just waiting to be put back together. The only question that's left is, what's it going to take for you to finally decide to read it?